Fear Street Part 2, 1978, which is a weird that they're so specific with the dates within these titles because they actually don't mean anything. But yeah, this episode, or not this, well, it feels like an episode, honestly, this movie, because you watch the first movie and it ends on a cliffhanger. For the most part, that movie felt like a movie, right? And then it ends on a cliffhanger. And then this movie starts as like has a recap to the other movie. What movie do you know that has a recap of what happened in the last movie? So I don't even know why Netflix did that. Like, first of all, you need to understand two things. The first movie's on your platform. It's super easy to access. They could go watch the other movie. And, like, if you're worried about people not being able to understand, they just release all the movies at once. I mean, why not? You guys release entire shows at once, which is way more content than 3 movies at once. I'm just saying. But, like, yeah, this episode, again, keep calling it an episode because it feels like an episode. But this movie, the first one I thought was a pleasant surprise. I didn't think really a trilogy of movies could be that great, especially based on R.L. Stine books that are all releasing a week apart from each other, directed all by the same person. And this one kind of started to show the cracks a little bit, which is that there really isn't as good a pacing here. It is a bit slower than the first movie, and there's a lot less horror, I would say, until the last 40 minutes or so. Then the horror really kicks in. It's not as well paced. The drama isn't as clear with this one, but it's still, I would say, an enjoyable little movie. I think it's kind of feels like, the last one I compared it to Scream, right? That last movie was comparable to Scream. This one was more comparable to Scream 2, where, it's an enjoyable movie, but it's not nearly as great as the first Scream was, and it kind of ruins a little bit of what made Scream so special, but it's not an unwatchable, terrible, poorly made film. You can watch this. It's enjoyable, but it's not as good as that first Scream movie. And I think that's the way to kind of look at this movie overall.